depression is a frozen feeling. It's a feeling that's within the body that the body created. And we have to go back into the body and thaw that ice out. And that ice wants to be looked at, it wants to be felt, it wants to be seen, it wants to be touched. So going back in and grabbing that ice that's been frozen in us and letting it thaw out, because healing is feeling. And I got that from Stephen Jagger. I just watched his IG live. Today I have a beautiful friend coming, joining me all the way from Hawaii.
My name is Anela.
We met in Phoenix at the somatic release breathwork class.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where our friendship started.
So I hold space for certain plant medicine ceremonies, and it's always very exciting when the intention of a person's ceremony is to release, because I know it's a big one. So something that really stood out for me in that ceremony was how much of other people's things that we carry without anyone even asking us to, and when we are born into a family, there's this feeling like you see another person in your family, your mother, father, anybody who is close to you, and they're carrying all of these bags. And as a soul, you're like, I'm going to help you with some of those bags,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But, that's not for us, right?
Yeah.
That's not for us. That's their load.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I see a lot of my, certain family members still holding on to, you know, talking about
Yeah.
the same stories every time you see them, It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is what happened to me and blah, blah, blah. And it's just replaying in their
Mm-hmm.
system.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it all comes back around to the same things. It comes
Yeah.
back to either religion or money or family, loss, all of these things, because these things are waiting to come out and be heard and seen. But they just come out in these like spurts, and people don't really know why it's happening. But, like just a tiny example. A woman in my family that I know, we were eating lunch together, and we had like a salad that we shared, a big one, like a big starter salad, and there's just a little bit left, and the server was like, "Oh, can I take that?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, sure."
Yeah.
But my family member, she said, "No, I don't waste food."
Mm.
And she got into this, I don't waste food. I do not waste food. Right? And I can see it. I can see it. It's this scarcity, right? It's that
Yeah.
scarcity. And if you don't even live in scarcity anymore, you're still in scarcity, you know? And, what's the sense in saving a few pieces of lettuce? Maybe if you have compost or something, maybe. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
salad that already has dressing on it already, it's like, it's okay. Let's let it go. It'll
Yeah.
be okay. Yeah. But people
Yeah.
are just unaware. People are unaware.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
was one of those people that was unaware too,
Yep,
before
me
I did
too.
my healing trauma and all that.
Yeah.
My father-in-law gifted me a book, Healing the Inner Child. And when he gifted me this book, I was like, my childhood was fine. Like, I don't need this book. Like, I had a great childhood. Little did I know that losing my father, that was trauma. I had no idea that was trauma. It was traumatizing me. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
So
Well, what
growing up,
we also can
uh-huh,
see trauma,
yeah,
because in our generation, we can see, oh, these people went to war. That's trauma.
yeah,
What happened to me is not trauma.
yeah,
But now we know that is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, so going around, I remember I used to be like short circuit. So I had a lot of anger and rage in me. I used to be just like a little firecracker, you know,
Oh my
back then,
God.
just like exploding. Yeah, yeah. Like I was,
Pop off, yeah.
uh-huh, yes. You know, and until I had kids, it's when I had to reparent myself again. And then I took
Mhm.
the time to kind of like, why am I like this? You know, why am I getting this anxiety? Like I'm scared and I hold my voice back and, you know, don't speak up because I was afraid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how that how what we've gone through, how that permeates our life on the moment to moment basis, you know? And life is so interesting in that way that it comes through, you know, in these little spurts, you know. And I can completely relate to the anger because for me, I was very shy up until I think maybe like a sophomore in high school, and I just flipped it, and I was just a bitch, like full on bitch. I was like, fuck everything, like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And
Uh-huh.
it was so harsh. It was so harsh, and I didn't realize that that was just all of this pain and the sadness, and feeling like life was unfair. Like, why did it have to be that way? But now, when you do the work, when you get in there and you get in your hole of shit,
Yeah.
you figure out, my gosh, that is why I'm amazing,
Yes.
right? And if you
Yes.
can flip that anger, if you can flip the script, flip the tortilla, see the other side of it, that's beauty right there on the other side of anger.
Yeah. And so how did you flip the script? How did you
Ooh, it's not overnight.
I know, right? But
Still
what was
going
like the
on.
first like awakening that you had where you're like, hold up, this is not the way I want to live. This is not the
Mm-hmm.
person I want to be.
Yeah. I think I think it was coming to realize, first of all, that what I experienced as a child was not normal. Was not normal. I had the anger first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I tried to just evade my life using alcohol, using weed, using whatever, any means necessary to distract myself from the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, after a certain amount of times of, you know, there's a lot of times I could have died,
Mm.
you know? There's a lot of times I could have died, and I'm like, there has to be a reason that I didn't die, right? Why
Yeah.
am I still here, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, you put yourself in such dangerous situations. I am so grateful for the spirits that support me and that help protect me because, man, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not sure exactly what flipped it. But I started, oh, this is what it was. Yoga. Yoga.
Yoga.
Yep.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
started doing Ashtanga yoga. I lived
Mm-hmm.
in California. And I started feeling more like, into meditation and this kind of stuff. And then I just started to realize I had so much in here,
Yeah.
just full. And then I have an amazing partner who is just so patient, so patient with all of my ups and downs because that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
Completely unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what's going to happen next?
Mm-hmm.
You know? I had to start to learn how to become organized. I had to learn how to become organized in my mind. I had to
Mm.
learn how do I calm my nervous system down? I had no idea. And as you start to calm it down, you start to hear yourself, and you start to go, oh, what is that? What is that that's making me cry after doing yoga for an hour? Like, what? you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why am I crying at the end of yoga?
Yeah.
It's that connection. It's that connection. And as you start to feel that connection, you go, oh my gosh, that's who I am. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. How
And
about you?
that is who we are. And
Yeah, that is who we are.
yeah. And for me it was because my father-in-law gives me Healing the Inner Child by Tich Nhat Hanh. So I started doing
Ooh.
meditation months. Like I was like, all I did was after I dropped my kids off from school and work out was like meditation, 20 to 30 minutes a day for like, I don't know, it was like
Wow.
constantly for 3 months straight. And that's when I hit that peak moment of like, I was able to feel all my feelings, right?
Ooh.
And I did not know, but it's feeling those feelings, right? That it's healing to me. I did not to me, life is like a puzzle. It's like
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
happens and this has happened. Then when I
Yeah.
joined somatic breath work, it's when my those pieces connected and I more understanding. I was like, that's what it is. Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is, you know, to me, emotions. Emotions is so huge.
Yeah.
Feeling the anger, feeling the hurt, like it wants to be seen. I was listening to
Yes.
Jagger's live last night, and he mentioned that like depression is like a frozen feeling. It's like an ice that you have to bring out from your body and thaw it out. That
Mm-hmm.
ice on your hand,
Mm-hmm.
it wants to be touched. It wants to be seen. It wants to be felt. It wants to be, like smell it. But
Yeah.
it transforms. That ice
Yeah.
slowly melts into water. But how can we be in this feeling for that time so you can see your own um transform I don't know if it's like transformation, but like how
Transmutation of
transmute.
energy, the
Yes,
shift. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes,
How
because
do you
those
how
feelings
do you
is,
shift?
yes, those feelings is uncomfortable, but if you stay with it,
Very.
beauty, yes.
Beauty. They are clouds passing by. They are clouds passing by. And if you can if you can grasp those moments, and that's where your true presence is necessary, right? Because you need to be present for that. Your being wants you to be present for that. And within shamanic practices, curanderismo, which is Mexican folk medicine, West African tradition, they all talk about this, the spirit. They all treat the spirit. Our energetic body is huge. One of my clients, she got done with a breathwork session. She said, my body feels like a Michelin man of energy. Like I'm just so big. And,
Yeah.
and I was like, you are. It's because we are. We're big beings. We need to take up the space that we take up,
Oh,
and
yeah.
feel it and feel it. And it's feeling the feelings. But that's the thing. Not only do we have to feel the feelings, we have the ability to. We
Mm.
have the opportunity to. There has been generations of people in our families that have not been able to have the time or space to feel their feelings. They
Yes,
just could not. They just
yes,
could not.
yes.
And what an incredible opportunity that we have to just have that pause
Mm.
and that acknowledgement. And even when we feel those feelings, we feel sadness, we feel suffering, these things, suffering and sadness and pain, they can feel so comfortable to
Mm.
just sit in that wound, just make
Yeah.
your home in there. But that's not where you live. It's a cloud passing by. You have to remember that it's just moving through,
Mm.
and it's like, I can't remember who talked about it, but like in the beginning of the pandemic, she talked about going through a car wash. And
Mm-hmm.
like there's these posters on the sides. I don't know what they say. They say something, you know.
Yeah.
But like she's like, it's like going through the car wash and you see a poster and you want to stop your car and just stare at this poster.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to keep going in the car wash in order for your car to get clean. You're still going this way. You're like, wait, but I wanna.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't attach to that poster. You gotta keep going. You gotta
yeah.
keep going. It's the movement forward that really honors all of the ancestors that could not or did not have the time, did not have the capacity or the tools to feel their feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And now, now that I look back at like my grandparents, my mom, it's like there's some stuff that I see that is still generation trauma. And
Mm-hmm.
now that
Yep.
I see my mom
Mm-hmm.
doing certain things like my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then the dis-ease in the body shows up.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's like, oh, it's like, sometimes it's like, how do you help the people so close to you, right? And you see them in suffering. I had to take one step back
Yeah.
and just,
You have to take a step back. You have to realize that you are not the gatekeeper of another human soul's suffering.
yes.
Who are you? Who are you to take that away from that soul? You know, if
Yeah,
they
that's like,
wanted to come into this life and learn these things and feel the depth of the pool, you let them do that.
yes.
It's hard. It's so hard, though. It's so hard.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
in that suffering, there is a gift. There's a gift in the pain. And it's
Yep.
like, we don't want to rob them of their gift.
Yep.
Like, it's
Exactly.
so much like the embodiment of somebody going through the suffering, and then you're able to like feel it and know it, and the wisdom within your body. Like, this is the gift.
Yes.
And and for me, I always like to talk about death.
I
That's
love
why
death.
that I know I downloaded the podcast Dying with Grace.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me a little bit about that? I haven't got into it yet, but
Ooh,
I love
well,
talking about death because it
you know,
is a
death is
motivation for
amazing.
me.
It is. It is a motivation. It's an honor of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's the honor of your life. And, you know, I'm an end of life doula. I'm a death doula as well. And I went into understanding death more because I was afraid of it.
Mm.
Because the way that I was raised, all of the experiences I had around death were just agony, just crying and wailing. And then don't talk about that person anymore. And then when they come up again, then you wail and you cry like it just happened.
Mm.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, what is this? Death is really scary. I don't want to do that. But the reality is that we all are headed there.
Yes, we're
We are
closer to
all
it
headed
every
there
day.
every single day. And if you've ever done a death meditation, you ever have that, it's that, you know, think about, you know, what would you do if you had 30 days to live thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What would your bucket list be? What would would you go and, I don't know, would you go and wash some clothes? No. You know, what would you do? What would you do? But the beautiful thing about really having a deep contemplative moment around the fact that we are going to die. How much presence do you want to bring to this very moment when you feel that? You know? And, you know, when we honor someone in their life and we give somebody a beautiful death, we give somebody that permission. It's okay. It's okay that your life is ending. You're okay. You know, there's so much that happens around a person when they're passing away. There's not much time to just sit. You know, there's what are his fluid levels? What are the electrolytes? What are the tests we need to do? What are the all these things? No, that's what a death doula is for. They're there to hold space for that person to pass because that is such a sacred transition.
Mm. Yeah.
Such a sacred transition.
And when you mentioned that, what came to me is when my grandma passed away, we knew she was dying, but my mom told me that your grandma waited for my mom to accept that she was dying before my grandma went.
Mm,
That's what my mom told me. I was like, wow. My She was waiting for her kids to accept it, you
yeah.
know? And when my mom got that, she's like, my grandma the next day, just she was gone.
And that's the thing, is if you can try to get a little bit of a perspective of our human life as just being one segment. One segment. I mean, if you talk to people who have had near-death experiences, you talk to people who have come back after being revived, these different things, it is not the end.
It's not the end. You
It is not
are
the
right.
end. And
We're just
there's a lot
visitors.
of doubt. There's a lot of doubt, and there's a lot of push in modern society around, oh, we are going to live forever, longevity, all of these things. Yes, that's great. But also, what is the beautiful death that you want to have? How do you step back and take a moment to integrate everything that you've done in your life, everything that you've been in your life, everybody that you influence in your life, all of the energy that you've created in your life? Like, how can you sit back and just look at that mosaic for a moment? It's incredible. The things that we do and the people that we are, the mark that we make on the world. Everyone does. Everyone has that special nectar that they are. You can't even help it. You can't even help it. Every single moment permeates the universe. You're making a mark in time always. No one is insignificant. And when you can feel that, you can take that moment to just sink into that feeling, the culmination, the end of the book of Anela, the end of the book of Rose. How beautiful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. It's
Life.
just really hard to be able to experience the sadness. But if you allow yourself to,
If you
don't push it
allow yourself
away.
to.
Don't
Yes.
push it away.
Yes.
Oh, it takes
Why?
this much time to get over somebody dying. No, it doesn't. It never ends. The grief never ends. The grief gives that richness to your life.
Whew. It does.
It does.
And as for me, being in a relationship with my husband for 16 years, I think. I don't know how long.
Ooh, you got me beat. I think we're at 15.
and and then recently, I had to grieve this person of me and our relationship had to die. It had to die. So I had to grieve of the relationship that we had, but we're stepping into a
Yes.
new version of us. So
Yes.
it's very sad to, I die as a person so many times. I shed my skin so many times. It
Yep.
hurts. It's
It
sad.
hurts. It's sad.
But to feel it, it's, you're grieving of
We
this life.
grieve everything.
Yes.
We grieve everything. When you have a beautiful day, the next day you grieve that day. you know, you grieve relationships. You grieve moments that have passed. You grieve meals that were amazing that aren't existing anymore.
Yeah.
We are always, it's this constant turnover. It's the cyclic effect. It's the nature of life. It's cyclic.
Rebirth.
Oh, yeah. You keep going around and around and around.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. One tip you would give someone that is struggling to move on with their life, like to move forward?
Okay.
Like they're carrying too much of the past.
Yeah.
And, what tip for, yeah.
So, with a lot of clients I work with spiritual integration around the use of psychedelics. I also work with people around grief, integrating grief into their lives. I have friends that come to me all the time on advice. The thing is, you need to realize that our mind is a tool, that our nervous system can be at capacity, and there's nothing else that we can fit.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot fit anymore in this piece of luggage. You need to get another bag, or you need to throw some shit out. So in that way of saying it, we need to release. We need to release. We need to empty out that cup, because otherwise we have no room for us to even get to know who we are. You know, a lot of people are struggling. I don't know how to, I don't know who I am. I'm a mom. I don't know. Who am I? What makes me happy? You know, what brings me joy? Like serious, genuine joy in life. Some people, a lot of people actually, do not know that answer.
Mm.
What gives me joy? What warms my heart chakra? You have to find those things, because when you start to think about death, that becomes very important. How do I live this life and really live it?
Yes.
So we have to realize our bodies are a tool. Our minds are a tool. The mind is not the master. Do not trust everything you think. That's more than one thing I'm thinking. There's a lot of things. But really, coming back to who you are, throw a pause in your day. Give yourself at least 10 minutes to just pause from everything. Too many distractions. Let yourself connect. And of course, you know how that is when you first start meditating. How, am I doing it right? Do I
Yeah.
levitate now? Like, what happens, right? You know, it's about giving yourself the space to be and to listen. Let all those things pass by. Your mind is going to race at first. Let it happen. You're not doing it wrong. People think, oh, how do I do this? How am I supposed to do this thing? There's no supposed to. You just do it. You know, just try.
Yes.
We always have tomorrow, today, the next day, you know, and you have to understand the nature of behavior and how to change behavior. It takes time and effort, consistency, things that I have to work very hard on, you know, being consistent,
Mm-hmm.
honoring ourselves consistently.
Mm.
Yeah,
Whew, that
that's a
was
good
beautiful.
start.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. And Stacy, my husband, is listening to this too. I love that.
Nah.
Faith like gravity, the release of letting go, acceptance of what is. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And what does death mean to you?
Death means life. Life means death. I think that when I really feel into death, there's no fear there. There's no fear. Become friends with death. You know, it's not a morbid thing to think about death. It's a huge part of our lives.
Mm.
You know, I think about how significant it was for me to give birth. It's even equally significant to die.
Mm.
And my only hope is that more and more people can get comfortable with talking about it, with talking to themselves about it.
Mm.
There's a little meditation in that podcast I posted about, it's called Dying with Grace.
Yeah.
The podcast is called The Commune. Amazing podcast. And he talks about a guided meditation where you visualize yourself at a park. He does it all in the podcast, but he asks you to visualize death as a person.
As a person.
As a person.
Yeah.
Invite that person to come and sit by you.
Mm.
Ask it whatever you want to. It's there for you. Death is a friend. Death is a teacher. You know, just like our children, our children are teachers. They're not meant to learn anything from us. We're the ones learning.
Yes.
You know? You know, we just got to ask, though. If we don't ask, we don't open ourselves in that way. We don't inquire. We don't become curious. You know, Ram Dass and Maharaji are very big on the energy of curiosity. Stay curious. What is this thing about? You know, You know, you used to be so curious as a kid, right? What
Yeah.
is this? How do you make that? What is this about? What is that? What is that? I don't know. Right? So many
Yeah.
questions. Ask
Yeah.
questions. Yeah.
Green Reaper Family Guy. Yes. And, because every time I think about death, it makes me really motivated.
Yes. Yes, it
There,
does.
just like you said earlier, there's times where I did really stupid things and I'm glad I'm still alive. So, but it wasn't my time to go. And I believe that each person that comes to Earth selects their family, selects what,
Yes.
like your mom and dad and what you
Hmm?
want in this lifetime.
Yes.
And I believe that, my father, I only had, 7 years with him. But before I even chose him as my father, we already had a contract somewhere. I don't know. I might be a little woo-woo. But made a contract like, hey, I'm going to be here, just in your life for 7 years. Are you
Yep.
okay with that?
Yeah.
There's going to be lessons and
Yep.
and things that I will give you.
Yep.
Are you okay with that? I said, yes, I'm here now. My
Yes.
father gave me, whew, he is, even though he's not living, I learned so much from him
He's still
because
with you.
he was a curiosity for me growing up. Even
Mm.
now, like because even though their body is gone, their spirit is still here
Yes.
within us.
100%.
Within
100%.
us, yes. And I did this meditation where I was able to tap into, I guess I was doing like a meditation for like spirit guide or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my father.
Yeah.
And it was, when I seen him, there's no scientific proof, but it's this feeling that I had within me. It's like, he gave me so much love when I seen him for that like 2-3 minutes, just pouring of love and light to me.
Yes.
I just felt like this energy of just love, and it was,
Yes.
amazing, amazing feeling. And that's when
Yes.
I knew that, you know what, there's more to life than just this, what's out here.
Yes.
How about when we close our eyes? What's in here? What's
Yes.
in our imagination? What's in the space?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Because, right? We only can see a certain spectrum of light.
Yes.
There's so much more going on. And to acknowledge that, and, some people that I work with around grief, one of my clients, her mother had passed, and she was struggling to connect to her without the physical form.
Mm.
And I encouraged her to keep going, keep asking, keep inviting. And I think it was about 6 months, I think. It took about 6 months
Mm-hmm.
before, and she messages me and she's like, "Oh my God, it happened." And I was like, time is nothing. Time is in the human realm here. And the vastness and the expansiveness of the spiritual beings, they permeate everything. They permeate everything. I tell my daughter that spirits can be everywhere at once. And
Mm.
she says, "Mommy, do you want to play with me?" And I say, "I can't right now. I'm making dinner. If you were a spirit, you could." And I was like, "You're right."
I love that.
It's it's all, it's, you know, along the same lines as going beyond the human form, realizing the expansiveness of who we are.
Mm.
The people that you love around you as you transition, that's all I can ask for, you know?
Yeah.
Nice, smooth ride.
Mm.
And it's a lot to let go of for us, you know? But you allow, understand that everything is in layers, little by little. Nothing happens all at once. It's all little by little. You know, there's so much in society that tries to show us, you know, this is it just happens. Boom. It doesn't just happen. You know, it's a lot of falling down and getting back up and falling down and getting back up and falling down and getting back up, and knowing that every time you fall down, you didn't fall down in the same place you did last time.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's always, you're always shifting, you're always moving, you're always changing. But so, you know, we have to start to understand the role of these different voices in our mind, the one that has all of that doubt. But this, but that. You have to start to just put a little damper on that voice. Just turn the volume down on those voices. They're still going to be there.
Yeah.
Turn the ones up that are connected to the heart.
Yes. Turn the one up that is connected to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
That is so
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And um, I guess my last words for our conversation here is to make love like there,
Mm.
like today is the last day. Like every time you do something, make love to that.
Yes. Yes.
You have any last words?
I just want to thank you. I really want to thank you for, you know, your consistency and constantly showing up for yourself. And I appreciate you always sharing, because it really helps me. It really helps me. And I think that you help a lot more people than you think.
Mm.
And, you know, just your energy, like I was saying, just your energy, just you being who you are and waking up in the morning and just going about your day. You are making moves. And I just want to thank you and have gratitude for you.
Likewise, my friend. Let's just take a moment and just take a deep breath in because feel this moment. Feel. All right, it's deep inhale in, slow exhale out, and feel. What does your heart feel like right now? Like, what is it saying to you? More deep breaths? Slow down? Love more? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The pause in our life. We need that. We all need that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Rose.
Yes, yes. All right. Take care, guys.
Sending you
We
all
love you.
love.
Bye.